G'day, battlers, and today we are jumping right in for a Lunar Cup tournament sweep at the hands of NecroticFate. Now, this is going to be a really fun run because they have a really fun team, but before we jump into that, I do want to say if you have not already checked out my Lunar Cup Meta Simplified infographic, definitely go watch that first. It's going to be linked over there and in the description down below. Watch that first just so you kind of have an idea about what the matchups are going to be, so you kind of get what's going on before the battles sort of happen in front of your face, that sort of deal. So definitely check that out, and yeah, let's jump into it. So NecroticFate, definitely a really strong team here. So we've got a pretty powerful back four with the Heracross, Frostas, Zweilous, and Alolan Graveler. Definitely just those sort of strong meta picks. You've got that Frostas, Zweilous core that's a really powerful pick. We actually saw that do wonders in the battle video that I did the other day up against Tris Chandler. And the other two Pokemon they've got are actually Houndoom and Jumpluff. Now, Houndoom, really strong Pokemon with Fire Fang as a fast move. It hurts all of the bugs that are really prevalent in this meta, as well as sort of fighting back up against that Frostlass that you can actually see on MyNameIsSTABS' team already. And then otherwise just has a really sort of, has a strong ability to sort of fight back against a lot of the meta. I mean, there's grass types in here as well. Not super effective against Credilli because it does have that rock typing, but I think Credilli is probably... I mean, it's definitely around as a grass type. And then Jumpluff. Now, Jumpluff, this is not your stock standard Jumpluff for the Energy Ball and Aerial Ace. This one is actually ditching Aerial Ace for Dazzling Gleam. Now, if you're anything like me, you had no idea that Dazzling Gleam was on Jumpluff at all. So it's definitely a really, it's a bit of a spice pick. I mean, it's definitely going to become more prevalent, more known as time goes on, but it's sort of like Roserade that I was talking about in that Meta Simplified video, where having access to Dazzling Gleam sort of allows it to hurt the wide swarm of dark types that are in this meta, and there are a lot, and fighters as well. So definitely a really powerful move, and if it catches an opponent by surprise, it can do a lot of damage. So I'll jump straight into it. I've got Necrotic's team here up against MyNameIsSTABS, who has got Obstagoon, Heracross, Frostas, Credilli, Alolan Graveler, and Mightyena. Got the double counter uses in Obstagoon and Heracross. Mightyena is another pretty interesting pick. Not sure what the movesets are going to be. I think as charge move, it's got Poison Jab, Crunch, and Play Rough actually, so it's also got that sort of secret fairy coverage that it may be packing. I will just have to kind of wait and see on that front. I think all three moves are definitely viable in this cup, so we will just kind of have to wait and see here. I'm kind of thinking that NecroticFate could have some trouble with that Alolan Graveler a little bit. It's definitely going to have a lot of play up against their team, so he's probably going to be forced to bring in that Heracross or the Jumpluff. But I mean, NecroticFate is the one who swept, so let's jump right into it and take a look how we went here. And we actually are seeing that Heracross in the lead up against Alolan Graveler, so really strong lead from the get-go, so expecting a swap out at some point from MyNameIsSTABS. Not sure if they're getting energy here. Okay, deciding to go for the charge move straight away, so Heracross could definitely let this first one come through, because we know it's a Rock Blast, not a Stone Edge, because they only farmed up to 3 volts, which is now bringing the Obstagoon, which is also weak to the double weak to Heracross's counter, so definitely an interesting swap in here. Throwing the Rock Blast to get that last shield, actually going back-to-back Rock Blast, definitely putting a lot of pressure onto MyNameIsSTABS already. I'm kind of curious what they've got in the back. Maybe like Credilli, something else that's weak. Farming all the way okay. We just saw MyNameIsSTABS lose switch and go down 2 shields to 0. And now we're seeing this Houndoom come in, Fire Fang up against the Mightyena. So NecroticFate has just absolutely destroyed this matchup. I mean, I guess it's a case where MyNameIsSTABS unfortunately did bring in 3 Pokemon that were weak to Heracross. So yeah, it kind of is what it is here, but this Crunch is definitely going to be taking out that Alolan Graveler, and then we're going to be going into a pretty quick game 2 here, flying through this tournament. Let's see how MyNameIsSTABS does adjust. Presumably going to bring in some more coverage for Heracross this time around, but really strong lead there with the Fire Fang Mightyena up against the Jumpluff here, but the Play Rough is coming out, and we're going to wait and see if MyNameIsSTABS has any idea that this could be coming out. If this lands, it's going to be pretty huge. Oh my gosh, almost one-shotting the Mightyena. That is absolutely crazy, and that is the power of these sort of secret movesets that I guess by the time the meta comes around in after a week and a bit, it's definitely more known, but for now it is definitely a lot of fun. So able to take that thing out. Here comes Heracross, and again, actually has access to Dazzling Gleam. So now that they've been scared of it, I'm thinking that MyNameIsSTABS is going to shield here out of threat, and they do shield it up. Unfortunately, the Energy Ball definitely wouldn't have done much damage at all to that Bug fighter. I'm going for another bait, trying to get both shields again. Maybe expecting that MyNameIsSTABS is prone to shielding early, like we saw in that first round, and now swapping out with the shield advantage into Frostlass. Actually opting to not shield here. I don't think that anything from... oh, actually, no, it does have the Rock Blast, but yeah. I'm not going to take out Frostlass. Has the back-to-back, And I think that NecroticFate might actually just opt to let Frostlass go down here, just kind of soaking up all of that Heracross's energy. Now it would bring a Heracross of his own, has the shield advantage, so even if the opponent got to their charge move first, looks like they lagged for one counter there, but doesn't really matter at this stage. This Rock Blast, not going to take it out because the fighting makes it neutral. But yeah, going to be able to shield this up, and then one more counter, and that Heracross is going to go down. Oh, it actually did go for the close combat as well, so definitely going right down, and there is the Obstagoon in the back. Going for the Rock Slide because they weren't going to get to that close combat in time. I think Obstagoon actually does hang on here, trying to go for the swap on the jump off, but unfortunately it wasn't going to go through there. But this won't take out Heracross. Cross Chop and Night Slash are both resisted, so yeah, happy to be able to counter that down. A little bit of that health on the Heracross in the back, and decided to swap into jump off to take it out. So taking out round 1, 2-0. We are going to the third game here. MyNameIsSTABS getting a little bit of a break here by catching the Heracross mirror match, and I say a bit of a break just because again it is sort of like they had so much trouble with the Heracross in the first game that having that sort of coverage, I mean, locking in the mirror match is definitely a nice thing to try and get it out of the way if nothing else, but letting the first Rock Blast go through, and NecroticFate is actually opting to burn the shield here. Going for the Rock Blast as well, and we saw they don't have Mega Horn. Rock Blast, definitely a nice move, and catching the Rock Blast onto Jumpluff. It is super effective, but it's not going to do much damage at all, because Jumpluff is like a really, really powerful Pokemon, and we're actually seeing the Frostlass come in here. A little bit of mutual lag, but that's fine. And then Energy Ball is definitely going to be doing a fair amount of damage here, but I think you just have to let Jumpluff go here, because if you shield up, you'd get the Energy Ball off, and then that wouldn't even KO. And they've still, MyNameIsSTABS still has 2 shields, so they could definitely just burn 1 shield and then sort of get a whole lot of farm on you. So probably the right play here. This is looking really rough for NecroticFate here, because they're at the shield disadvantage, and that Frostlass potentially even has a little bit of energy, so forced to go for the Avalanche Bait here. But yeah, MyNameIsSTABS knew that they were kind of forced to go that route, and just calling it. Really strong play here, and oh my gosh, landing the Shadow Ball. This is just GG's for NecroticFate. Absolutely nothing they can do. Going for the Rock Blast, but MyNameIsSTABS still has both shields here, so this is going to be GG's. NecroticFate still taking out that first. Oh, actually letting it go. Okay, yeah, Mighty Inner in the back, just to Fire Fang down. So yeah, taking out round 1 pretty handily as well with a really strong team there. But going into round 2 up against who's this loser? I should probably change the teams over just so I'm not calling MyNameIsSTABS a loser. There we go. There's my team. So I was actually mashed up in round 2 here, and I have the Roserade, the Mandibuzz, Crustle, Alolan Graveler, Zweilous, and the Obstagoon. Now this Roserade, even though I've been hyping up again about Dazzling Gleam, I actually ran it with Leaf Storm in this tournament. Just thought it was kind of a bit interesting there. It definitely has a lot of play up against a lot of Pokemon, like Crustle, for example. It definitely does a lot of damage to Crustle if you can land it. Obviously, no Crustle on Necrotic's team, so it did happen at a different point in this tournament. But yeah, my Mandibuzz actually does have Air Slash instead of Snarl, which is a bit of an interesting move. But again, just good sort of because of these fighters and stuff. Definitely nice to have up against the Heracross. So I will jump into it, see what we both do. I think this is actually my first time casting myself on the other side of the screen, so we'll see how this all goes. But I've got the Jumpluff in the lead up against Crustle. Terrible lead for NecroticFate, so it has to kind of get straight out of there, swap into these Wireless, and I am hanging on to the Obstagoon in the back. Already a really good start for me. So I think we would actually be able to tank this Body Slam just fine, but I decided to burn the shield just to keep Obstagoon nice and healthy. And then I'm actually going for the Night Slash here to try and bait out the fact that I might have Night Slash Gunk Shot, just in case that might be helpful for later on if I see this sort of Obstagoon versus Jumpluff maybe later on. But yeah, I do actually have Night Slash Cross Drop there, able to farm all the way down. They just didn't get their Body Slam off, unfortunately for them. I'm probably would have been able to tank it anyway though. And here comes Jumpluff, and throwing just Night Slashes to try and do as much damage as possible onto this Jumpluff. I don't think I have Mandibuzz in the back in this game. But if I do, it's definitely going to be coming out. But yeah, just throwing Bolt Night Slashes. Actually get the boost there. And we're actually now seeing NecroticFate throwing the Energy Ball. Not revealing the Dazzling Gleam yet. Definitely the right play though. Energy Ball going to take that out. Going for the hard swap into the shiny Alolan Graveler. And I quick swap into this Wireless as well. Definitely another pretty good start for me. Although I am at the shield disadvantage, which is a little bit rough here. So I'm going to burn the first shield with the Body Slam onto this Alolan Graveler. And then I've kind of got a few different ways to sort of play this. Obviously, I know that the Jumpluff is in the back, and I know Crustle has a pretty good time up against it. So I think I kind of want to shield this as Wireless up, so I can try and get rid of this Alolan Graveler as fast as possible. They do get the Stone Edge off here, which is definitely pretty scary. It's going to do a lot of damage, so I'm kind of hoping that Crustle can farm the rest of this Alolan Graveler down. Should be absolutely fine here. Farm it down. In comes the Jumpluff, which does still have a shield, so I think I'm going to go for the X is a bait. Yep, and does get the shield there, and I'm pretty sure this is a bait. yeah, went for the X as a bait, so not going to do much damage at all. And now I'm definitely going to be able to tank this Energy Ball and then get to a Rock Blast that will take this jump off out at this point. I should be able to get there, I think. Yeah, before an Energy Ball. Yeah, this is going to... I think maybe it just doesn't. I mean, we'll see. A Rock Slide, sorry, and yeah, takes out the jump off, so I take out game 1 up against NecroticFate. So jumping into game 2 here, we're seeing the Heracross lead up against Crustle. Not as good a time for me at all, so definitely kind of expecting me to potentially swap out here. I think I'm actually going to be going for one charge move first up, but the Rock Blast actually comes from the Heracross faster. Definitely my bad for not quite knowing the Heracross counts quite yet. Oh, it looks like it was a CMP tie. But yeah, I shielded up the Rock Blast and now going for the Rock Slide on my end. Does unfortunately get shielded, so I think I should probably be swapping out here because it's not going well for me the longer this goes. But I actually do get the next charge move off first and getting a shield out of NecroticFate, and it was the Rock Slide. So at this point, Heracross, if they didn't go for the charge move, could probably just farm me all the way down. It looks like they are going for the undercharge here to get a little bit of energy off me. Really nice play from NecroticFate. Just one counter, but still any energy is nice to have. And I have the shield advantage as well, so any advantage you can get. Seeing these wireless come in here from my end, I'm keeping that energy for on Heracross for later. Definitely a nice play there, but bringing a Frostlass with no shields means that I'm going to be able to get this Dark Pulse off, take out the Frostlass completely, and there is that. There's just a little bit of Heracross with a charge move, and then Houndoom up against me with a shield advantage. Definitely looking pretty scary for NecroticFate here. Going for the Rock Blast. I think I actually might let this go down. Yeah, because I figured that Zweilous was going to go down, and now I'm going for Obstagoon, and this was a big gamble on my part, and probably not a smart gamble. I was kind of going like, I really just have to hope that Alolan Gravel is in the back, because if I kept Zweilous around, I kind of figured that it wouldn't be able to survive for very long. A little bit of mutual lag there. I actually might have got hit by an extra counter, not too sure there, but it turns out that there is a Fire Fang Houndoom in the back, and I would need to get like 2 cross drops off here. So unfortunately, I think I shot myself in the foot there a little bit, and yeah, just not able to get there. So NecroticFate taking out game 2 and is now 1-1. Kind of surprised I haven't brought in Mandibuzz yet, to be honest. Actually, speaking of the devil, and this is not where Mandibuzz wants to be, though, so really rough lead for me, so I swap into Crustle, which is still not a great lead up against a Alolan Graveler, but it's kind of a... I think I might have Obstagoon in the back, and or maybe Zweilous, and I didn't want to swap into the harder counter. So we actually do get a shield from this Alolan Graveler here, which is somewhat not great for me because I kind of wanted to get rid of this Graveler. It looks like going straight for the Stone Edge. This is definitely a really... Oh, sorry, went for the Rock Blast. Definitely hard to tell with the double rock moves, but going for the back-to-back Rock Blast here. Already putting on so much pressure onto that Zweilous. Onto the Crustle. Man, I'm mixing up so many words here, but this is traumatic for me. So we're going to shield up here. And then, yeah, shielding up the Rock Slide, you can maybe get to that charge move, easy peasy to take that Crustle out, and then we'll have the switch advantage, even though there's no shields in play. And Graveler's probably going to be able to get to another charge move onto whatever I bring in. Whatever that may be. And it's a Zweilous, so we actually see the quick swap into Jumpluff, and I swap into Mandibuzz thinking, oh man, this is such a good matchup here. I've got the Air Slash, I've got the Aerial Ace. I'm going to be able to tank all these Energy Balls and Aerial Aces all day. And then I see the Dazzling Gleam, and I go, oh dear, this is not great for me. I'm not going to be able to tank another Dazzling Gleam. This is all gone downhill so fast. I wish I kept that. I wish I kept it in. This is not good. I repeat, not good. Not able to get to the next charge move before another Dazzling Gleam comes in here, and I'm going, oh my gosh. Takes out the Mandibuzz, and then in comes back the Zweilous that I really do wish I kept in, even though like Dazzling Gleam would have done a bunch there, but would have kind of preferred. I think it would have gone a little bit better that way, potentially. Actually, maybe not. Maybe actually still played it as best I can, and just the Dazzling Gleam really put a thorn in my double dark side. But land the Body Slam onto that Heracross. Count is doing a whole lot of damage here. Presumably going to... Oh, actually, no, I'm going to get to another charge move to take this Heracross out. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that it's going to be enough health for me to protect myself from this Alolan Graveler, who's going to get to its charge move first. Oh, actually, so... On my side of the video, I think I was actually at the... I did one extra Dragon Breath, one more Dragon Breath than I needed to do. And I think what actually happened is that I lagged the tiniest little bit visually on my last Dragon Breath that I needed. And then because of that, I did like 2 Dragon Breaths sort of at one time. And it pushed me 1 Dragon Breath past the charge move. So I think I actually might have been able to get the last charge move off there to take out the Graveler, but you know, it's all hard to say, and this is only a practice tournament anyway. So yeah, NecroticFate taking that one out and doing a really nice job there, cleaning me up with that Dazzling Gleam Jumpluff. Definitely a really powerful Pokemon. But we're jumping into round 3 here, up against iTrollMyselfEH. I'm going to guess they're Canadian. I have no idea though. I've got the Obstagoon, Galvantula, Sableye, Tropius, Umbreon, and Escavalier. So a very interesting team. There's not as many of those sort of like core top meta picks here. It's definitely a bit more, a little more middle tier. It's like we've got the Escavalier as the fighter, the Umbreon, Tropius, Sableye. Really interesting. I'm kind of interested to see how this battle does end up playing out. I actually played iTrollMyself in round 4 of this tournament, but we are going to see the Houndoom up against the Umbreon, which I'm assuming is not a great spot because the last resorts are definitely with a lot of damage. So swapping into the Heracross and actually seeing this swapping into the Sableye. So this is a pretty interesting swap. Foul Play not going to do too much damage, but it is actually, I mean, Heracross is a pretty squishy Pokemon, so it's actually still going to do a fair amount. Yeah, that's kind of more than you'd hope. There's me sending some messages as well. We lagged out in the first round, but throwing the first Rock Slide, charging up tons of energy, and now going for the close combat. Kind of interesting maneuver here, but we'll see if it does pay off for him. It does get that second shield as well, so in another 2-0 shield advantage. NecroticFate really putting on a lot of pressure and getting themselves in these really nice situations here, but at this point, you're going to be able to bring in that Houndoom again, taking foul plays really well here, but going to burn the shield here in case it is that, I guess, Power Gem or Return. And then, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to Foul Fang all the way down. Oh, swaps into the Jumpluff to tank the charge move. Yeah, definitely a nice little play there. Get a little bit of energy advantage, and, you know, again, Jumpluff really tank a Pokemon, so would be able to tank it. And I think we may be seeing another Dazzling Gleam situation that they've swapped in Umbreon going, hey, I can tank some Energy Balls, I can tank some Aerial Aces. And yeah, we are about to see Dazzling Gleam be revealed again. Such a powerful little surprise Pokemon, especially this early in the meta. And I can only imagine that iTrollMyselfEH is going, oh dear, this is not great. But still, going to be able to put a lot of hurt onto this Jumpluff. Foul Play coming through. I think at this point you can just take it out with an Energy Ball. Hitting all the bubbles. And then, actually, here comes the Obstagoon. So this is actually an interesting spot because a NecroticFate still has a shield, and this isn't going to do heaps of damage. But going for that Flamethrower, it does actually do a fair bit. I think he's going to be able to farm down as long as they burn the shield. Oh, wait, Obstagoon. Oh, maybe recognizing that they kind of needed to go for the full counter farm down and wouldn't have been able to do it. It was their only shot because they were expecting that if they went for the charge move, the extra turn would have gone against them. But going into game 2 here, you've got the Heracross up against the Umbreon in the lead, and another really nice lead for NecroticFate here. Going straight for the close combat though, nuke away. And it does land. Oh, dearie me. No matter what this is, I mean, if it was a Psychic, then it would take out the Heracross, but revealing that it is a last resort Umbreon and countering all the way down there. Looks like we're going for the hard swap into Wireless here to clear the debuff, and we're actually seeing the Obstagoon now. Again, not a great spot for NecroticFate, but we saw NecroticFate fight out of this spot earlier in the tournament. Actually, no, I beat them in that round. They won the next 2. They still won the round in this spot anyway, so actually going to see another cross chop coming through here. Definitely going to bring that Wireless nice and out down for the count. And then at this point, I think you might, I guess you bring in Heracross, because Heracross is going to do the huge damage with the counters, the double super effective, whereas the Houndoom would be taking super effective damage back. So tanking that Night Slash, able to count it all the way down, really nice there. And then in the back there is that Sableye. So is that Triple Dark? Did they just run Triple Dark? Maybe. But going for the Rock Blast and now swapping out into that Houndoom. Going to be putting on a lot of pressure here. At this point, you can just burn one shield, get this crunch off, and I think this is going to take out that the Sableye, and that's going to be GG's, putting it 2-0 in round 3. So again, we are going to go into that third battle of round 3. But NecroticFate really, I think the team is doing a really interesting job here, but NecroticFate doing a really nice job using it. We've got these Wireless going up against the Umbreon swap-in. Interesting swapping into the Heracross, I guess, just making sure that the Pokemon lined up in the spots where they can be used the best. Like there's a lot of things on iTrollMyselfEH's team that Heracross would not like to be matched up against, so ensuring that you get it in this really nice matchup, definitely not a bad spot to put it. One counter short of the double close combat, so going for the first one here that is going to take out that Umbreon, and then going to be able to throw a charge move or whatever comes in. Looks like they're just mashing for the Rock Slide potentially. And he's actually that the Tropius, sorry, so doing tons of damage, especially after that defense debuff from the close combat. So gets that Rock Slide off. Doesn't do heaps, but yeah, those air slashes just demolishing. And then in comes this Wireless. Definitely a pretty interesting Pokemon because Wireless is able to sort of soak up the charge moves from the Tropius pretty well, but there are both shields on both sides here. So getting the first one there, a little bit of lag on iTrollMyself side there, but I don't think it's anything game breaking. Farming up energy and then swapping out, actually. So interesting play there. And then we're actually going to see the Dark Pulse landing onto that Sableye, which does do a ton of damage, even though it is only neutral. It just seriously hurts so much. And at this point, we're not even going to need to see the Dazzling Gleam. Even though Fairy is the only super effective move to a Sableye, Energy Ball is all you're going to need at this range. Able to tank the Foul Play with ease. This Energy Ball would take it out. I'm kind of thinking they might just let Sableye go here and then bring the Tropius back out. Try and get some farm on the Tropius so they can throw some charge moves. They do have the shield disadvantage though, and I think they might be too low potentially. Gonna let the jump off go because again, it's all gonna be, it's a GG's. There's nothing I can do. This Wireless with 2 shields is absolutely gonna be able to farm this Tropius down. Even if it had 100 energy, this Wireless is definitely gonna be able to win this matchup. So with that said, NecroticFate are gonna be taking out round 3 here and putting it at an early 3-0. Really nice job here. But yeah, burn that shield and then Leaf Blade, a couple more Dragon Breath, another. Burn the second shield, we've got it, and then finally a couple more Dragon Breaths, and that Tropius does go down, which brings us into the finals up against the TheMegaShuckle, who also has an incredibly interesting team here going into the last round, who's got Pawniard. I'm actually not sure how you say that, Pawniard. I'm probably going to try and avoid saying it from here on out. I've got the Roserade, the Heracross, the Frostlass, Obstagoon, and the Alolan Golem. Now, I'm going to give you a few seconds here. Can you see a major problem with the TheMegaShuckle's team here? I would do the Jeopardy theme thingy, but I don't want to get copyrighted and I don't know how strict they're going to be on that. So I'll tell you the answer, and it is Houndoom. Houndoom going to do so much damage to the first 4 in that lineup. Obstagoon and Alolan Graveler, definitely not as bad, but like Obstagoon going to be able to take it out pretty well. Alolan Golem relying on its charge moves a little bit, but still able to take it out with a little bit of hurt back and forth. But I mean, the TheMegaShuckle is definitely in a back corner here. So at this point, I think Obstagoon is probably like a must to bring in every single time. And NecroticFate is obviously going to be bringing that Houndoom every single game to just hammer the TheMegaShuckle home. So we'll jump into it and see how it does end up going. And we've got the Houndoom straight away into the Pawniard, and this is not a good start at all. Has to swap out straight away into the Frostlass. That is such a rough swap. I'm assuming they've got that Obstagoon maybe hanging out in the back, and again, it's one of those cases where you don't want to swap into your hard counter. But it looks like they've run a little bit of an ABA lineup, assuming there is Obstagoon in the back. And I mean, Houndoom is just going to melt the floor, pun intended, within the TheMegaShuckle's team. Surely they've brought Obstagoon. Oh, they actually brought in Heracross. Okay, so they brought in 3 Pokemon that were going to be weak here. Yeah, this is a little bit rough, but goes for the Flamethrower, gets the shield, is able to counter down there, which is absolutely fine. In comes the jump off here. Again, it doesn't have the Aerial Aces, has the Dazzling Gleam instead, which I think in this case, Aerial Ace might have been nicer to have, just because it is a bit quicker, but able to tank the Rock Blast just fine. Seeing the swap out into that Pawniard and Heracross in the back, this is probably the roughest game in the TheMegaShuckle's entire tournament. This is really unfortunate. Throws the X-Scissor, does absolutely nothing. Counter all the way down. Here comes that Heracross Mirror. We've got the shield advantage. This is just GG's. TheMegaShuckle can do absolutely nothing here. I think they really need to bring that Obstagoon out and potentially run that Obstagoon in the lead and then swap out if they don't see Houndoom, just to bait out the Houndoom. Because, yeah, that was just destructive. And we are now seeing the Pawniard again in the lead up against the Heracross. So this is still not great for the TheMegaShuckle, because counter going to be super effective there. Swapping into the Heracross Mirror. They've got to be running the double counter in the back. Sure, please the TheMegaShuckle run at the Obstagoon, or at least that Alolan Graveler. In comes that Houndoom farming all the way down there. And then in comes the Frostlass. Oh no, they've brought 3 things that are weak to it again. That's rest in peace, the TheMegaShuckle. NecroticFate has probably just found the easiest last round in their career. Just because Houndoom, I mean, I think the TheMegaShuckle actually said it in the chat after this tournament, that they just were not prepared for a Firefang Houndoom. They weren't really prepared for people to actually bring it. And NecroticFate definitely really giving a run for their money. Even though they've got to this point, like, again, the TheMegaShuckle was 3-1, 3-0 at this point in the tournament. So they were set to like win the tournament as well, but we've now got the Houndoom up against the Heracross. At least Heracross will be doing super effective damage back. Actually, finally seeing a Alolan Golem come out. But yeah, unfortunately, able to swap into the Jumpluff to counter swap here. So Rock Blast still going to add up here, but Energy Ball is going to do heaps. So kind of forcing the TheMegaShuckle to burn the shield here if they want to keep the Alolan Golem around. Which, again, oh my gosh. Oh, that's rough. I wonder if they were maybe just hoping that it was the air/bait that obviously we know that NecroticFate doesn't have, but that is so rough. Heracross coming in, going to throw the Rock Blast that will, not quite take out the jump off and going to get an energy ball off. Just so disrespectful. Burning that shield from the MegaShuckle as well. Again, probably assuming that they do have that air slash. Seeing the Houndoom come in. Oh, actually, we saw the swap to Obstagoon. And then we're able to see the swap out of the Houndoom. So the MegaShuckle finally bring in both of the Pokemon that would do pretty well up against the Houndoom, but not able to line up either of them, and that is definitely unfortunate there. Maybe you should have, yeah, I guess maybe there's lineup concerns, like you should have brought one in the, I don't know. Just at the end of the day, it did not work out in the MegaShuckle's favour, and I'm sure that they are not going to be running this same team of 6 in the future. I know they were really trying out Pawniard, even though it didn't stand up well against NecroticFate's team at all. But with that said, NecroticFate able to take out the full 4-0 sweep with a really interesting team there. And I think any jump off from now on should probably be running that Energy Ball Dazzling Gleam moveset, because it is showing itself to be really powerful. Maybe it's not as powerful if you're in that position where you already know. Like if people are already kind of privy to the fact that Dazzling Gleam is there, it does take a little bit longer to get to. So maybe it's not as safe of a sort of thing to bring, but either way, huge congrats to NecroticFate, because definitely some well-played matches, as well as some good identification of what lineups to bring. Even though they beat me, I'm not salty at all. No. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to NecroticFate for sending the footage in, and I'm definitely excited to see best of luck to all the competitors, which I guess I'm actually say good luck to myself as well when the Lunar Cup does come around in a week's time. With that said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one. Thank you to my patrons. What do I need to turn off? This one. Thank you to my patrons and supporters over on Twitch as well. Move me out of the way, because I feel like, why am I not moving me out of the way? There we go. And yeah, definitely check out my other Lunar Cup videos as well. I mean, if you like Lunar Cup content, subscribe, because I've got more where this came from, I guess. But also join the Flash tournaments for all server. That's where this tournament was held. There are already like 9 practice cups in at this point. So if you want to do some practice battles, it's probably the place to be. But see ya.